I cannot believe what I just saw. At a local high school in the state of Texas, cheerleaders are seen on video performing what can only be deemed a racist and offensive dance/chant for the many people in attendance taking all of this in. It took place at Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World, of all locations. The dancers, by the way, are known as, get this, the Indianettes. According to ABC 13, the costumes they wore were modeled after Native Americans. In addition, Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. said the team calls its football stadia the reservation, not only doubling but tripling down. Now, why is scalping so offensive? Let me tell you. And we learned this through the Washington R words via Politico. It harks back to the days when colonies, trade companies, and some states issued bounty proclamations for exterminating Native American people and providing the bloody R word, as you see there, as proof of Indian kill. So that dance is not harmless. That dance is very offensive and wrong. When such bounties were offered on a sliding scale of payments depending on whether the dead were men, women, or children, the notices often used the term scalps when they in fact meant the victims' genitalia. That is what they are doing with this dance. Where are the adults? Or do they condone it? Do they love it? That was the only way to truly distinguish the gender and maturity of the skinned corpse. Many times the killers reserve the term top knot for an actual scalp of a head with hair. That is why we must try our best to hear these stories, understand history, and realize that this country is quite genocidal, not just outside the borders, but also in it. And what's really troubling is we have this theme for many in the MAGA base that want to bring back these caricatures, want to bring back these dances, even being led by the guy who intentionally went to an Atlanta Braves playoff game to do a racist chant and perform some symbolism with the Atlanta Braves' tomahawk chop. And on the high school level, this is coming from predominantly white schools.
I literally hate Indiana. In the middle of warm-ups and all.
I shouldn't have to, nor should any Indigenous person have to explain to you why this is wrong. You continue to portray this behavior of mockery towards an entire race of people that has long-term psychological and emotional damage towards Indigenous people. The same Indigenous people whose graves you stand on who died defending this land.
If your goal is to inform and spread awareness, you do not do it in this way. You don't send students dressed up in fake war bonnets and smoking a fake peace pipe in the middle of a basketball game on a basketball court. Those two things are sacred to our Native American people. Smoking that peace pipe, wearing that war bonnet are very sacred things that we do within our tribes and our culture and our customs.
This is what we mean when we talk about cultural appropriation. Other than mocking our ceremony and our attire, they're sexualizing our women. And it's harmful stereotypes like that everyone just accepts, that makes it so hard for Indigenous voices to be heard.
You are giving these children permission to be openly racist because you're teaching your own children that it's okay to impose these damaging behaviors and acts on an entire race of people for sports.
And again, this is the reason Indigenous voices are not being heard, because everyone just accepts this and they basically tell us to get over it, or it's honoring us. We are not your mascot.
Even more troubling, the person leading the Department of Education, Linda McMahon, would partake as well.
On New York's Long Island, Massapequa High School is the home of the Chiefs. And to go with that name, the school also has a tribal-inspired logo and mascot. The state's Department of Education does not approve of that. And they've threatened the school could lose state funding if it does not stop using Native American references. Well, President Trump and the federal education department. The president weighed in on social media in April to call New York's opposition an affront to our great Indian population. He then put his education secretary, Linda McMahon, on the case, and she visited the school Friday. Secretary McMahon announced that the department will investigate whether it's state education officials who are actually being discriminatory by threatening funding over the name and imagery.
We absolutely did find that this is a civil rights violation here in Massapequa. The State Board of Education and to the Board of Regents, we would like to have you voluntarily come, sign the resolution that would allow the Chiefs to continue.
Jermaine Smith is the former general counsel and secretary of the Shinnecock Indian Nation in New York. He's also advised the New York Department of Education on mascot restrictions.
It's almost laughable and disgraceful, those comments about it being discriminatory. The Shinnecock Nation and other tribal nations in New York State, we've had our share of issues with New York State ourselves, but the New York State Education Department has been a partner to the Shinnecock Nation, and that imagery looks at us and speaks to us as a stereotype. We all look the same. We all wear headdresses. That's not true. We come in all different shapes and sizes. And my own daughters have said to me, Dad, we still exist. Why are we being used as mascots? So that's the harmful effect that it has. And I speak from experience on that.
They want to bring back this imagery. Why? Because it demeans the true Americans, the Native Americans in this country. Dave Zirin once wrote, by conflating indigenous minstrelsy, white people in face paint with representation, it also makes it easier for non-natives to ignore actual issues plaguing Native communities like poverty and poor healthcare access. It's a warped version of visibility that only serves to erase. As a spokesperson from the National Congress of American Indians said, these depictions are not tributes, they are rooted in racism, cultural appropriation, and intentional ignorance. Amen to that. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.